Hey, hello. Uh, Welcome to what's not going to be part two of this stream. I'm sure if you clicked on the thumbnail for expecting to see part two potentially of the Centennial case Shijima story, uh, that's unfortunately I've got some bad news for you. That is not going to show up here. You could probably tell possibly by the length of what this video is. Um, I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible, but let's talk about it. After streaming part two, like sometime last week, over this last week, basically, I've been working on trying to get part two up onto the archive here on YouTube. Um, Despite many different things I tried, basically, as far as I can tell, Square Enix has claimed basically that whole video. At first, I thought it was just certain little chunks that I was editing out and doing some things to try to make it work and still be able to be shown. But they essentially copyright ID'd it, they claimed it, and they're blocking it from being viewed completely. Which is a lot of things, but mostly annoying and upsetting to me, basically. Um, it is what it is. A lot of videos, obviously, of mine, music wise and whatever, get like ID'd, but it doesn't necessarily block the video from being viewed. But this one is definitely very bad. Also, I apologize. It looks like I'm in like a weird bunker, especially with the lighting. It is night. It's actually before I'm about to go live on a stream on a Monday here. But yeah, as I said, I was trying to take out random chunks. You'll see in a bit here in this video because I'm going to show you, but I was actually narrating the parts that I was having to cut out. Um, but it's just not working. At first I thought it was the random chunks, but they claimed the whole video. I'll actually, in the edit to this, I will show up the screen caps of what it is. They actually claimed it's almost the whole video. It's not just random chunks. So even if I take out little chunks, they're going to just the bots are just going to find another part to claim, and then it'll just do the same thing and not be able to be shown. So for the last few days, I'd been recording these things that were hella awkward. Me just like narrating, saying what I was saying on stream with my phone. I was looking at the video and then relaying it to here on camera. I'm sure there's people, you don't know what I look like. You probably click on Shijima Story Part 2. You're like, I just want to see Chapter 2. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I'm going to throw the parts I did record. There was a chance that those wouldn't see the light of day because the video is not going to be able to go up. But I already recorded them. They're super awkward. I might as well just show them. It doesn't even fucking matter. I already recorded them. If I can get them at the end of here, at this video explaining. But basically, I'm mostly making this video to explain why I assume it's going to give me the same problems throughout the rest of the game. If I was to continue to try to, if I just didn't do upload to episode 2, part 2, chapter 2, if I just didn't throw that, I assume Square has the ability to claim the rest of the game. Again, I don't know why part 1 survived the claiming. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, or if it just makes it more annoying to me. Whatever the case is. But basically, yeah, I'm mostly doing this to explain that you're not going to be able to see part 2 or part 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, to the end of the game here on the archive on YouTube. It's just not going to be able to work. Despite everything I tried, I put in multiple hours and like idea hours. Hours of my ideas and brain power, which is not much. I don't have much brain power working at this point, especially on a Monday and over the weekend and stuff. But it's annoying. It's a shame, honestly. One of the things I have the archive for is because I love the idea of being able to save streams there on purpose. But it's just not gonna happen. So, yeah, I don't know. It's probably just going to the other main reason I started slowing down there. The other main reason there is I was trying to formulate the order of things, but basically I'm here to also say like explain that, but also I don't want to stop playing the game. I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it on stream. So, I highly suggest that if you do potentially, if you see this, if you saw part 1, enjoyed it, you see this isn't even a part 1.5, I don't know. If you see this and you're like, I do want to see the rest of the game with you, you can. I'm still going to do it on Twitch at points. You have to go watch it on Twitch. Whether it's live, when I do it, or on Twitch's VOD system. Now, that's imperfect because those VODs, I think, only stay up for 2 weeks after I record. So you have to catch it within 14 days. 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, is the time limit there. It's imperfect. It's an imperfect system. So I'll plug the Twitch, as I say in one of the recorded segments that you'll see at the tail end of this video. I think I say, like, I don't like trying to push people who watch streams on YouTube archived. I don't usually really try to push you guys to Twitch to see the VODs or the live, recordings of them. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's totally imperfect. It's annoying. I hate it. Honestly, it bugs me. It bugs me probably more than it should. But I think that's just because when you have a system kind of going and it's worked and you haven't had to deal with this kind of problem in a long time, and then it rears its ugly head and you're like, well, that sucks. Also, I'm annoyed at Square Enix. I don't know. Like, I get why they think they should do it. I just don't agree with them. So, there's that. So, in saying all that, like I said, the recorded segments, I think there's 3. I'll stick them. This will fade to black at some point, and then I'll pop those up just because I record them. Like I said, they're awkward, and you can see the progression of me trying to figure out what to do with the taking out certain random chunks and narrating. But that's, I think, as far as it. I mean, I think that's gonna be all it's gonna be here on the old YouTube for this series. So, if you want to continue watching it, go ahead. Or try to find some streams of it elsewhere on YouTube. I'm sure they're out there. I don't know what they're doing differently. If there's out there that I'm doing, what's different, because I'm pausing, I'm talking over it. It's not just straight running through the video segments or anything. The one, I didn't try to do a ton of work to try to figure out what it is. The one thing I did possibly find is that I didn't see if they got far into the game and see if they avoided the problem that I'm running into in Chapter 2. But I saw someone playing through the game in my research of trying to figure out what the hell to do to fix this. And I saw that they were playing with English audio. I don't know if that would actually prevent this problem. But also, I'm not going to play with the English audio. So if that was a way to fix this issue and not get content ID'd and claimed, that's just not worth it to me. So, like I said, I push... I guess I didn't say the Twitch name. It is twitch.tv/bubmanXIV. bubmanXIV. You want to watch it there? Go ahead. You can watch it live with me when I record it. That's the case. That'll be the case. Or watch it VODs on Twitch's system, which stores it for 14 days. I think it's 14 days. I'm not. It's not 100% sure. I don't care about the VODs on Twitch too much. I know people watch them. I can tell people watch them just based on numbers and stuff. But, like, I don't care because I do move them over to YouTube. That's the specific reason. So, yeah. You can go watch it there. I'm bummed. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed more than bummed. I'm just annoyed. But, yeah. This video will go up Wednesday. Assuming I have the time to throw it all together. I probably will stream part 3 on Friday night. So if you want to see part 3, or I guess part 2, this is also a call to action. If you want to see part 2, it's already been done. It's already been streamed, and it's there. The timer is going down on part 2 on Twitch's VODs. It might be, when did I play it? It might have like 10 days left up on Twitch as of recording this. So when you're seeing this on Wednesday, it might be like 8 days or something. Something along those lines. But part 3, chapter 3, is going to be on Friday, unless something changes in my mind, then. And I'm rambling, and I didn't want this to be super long. Square, you're a bummer. You're a bummer on this Monday night. You're a bummer to me. You make my life worse. So, that's all I have to say. Like I said, this will fade to black. I'll throw in those other things I recorded. You can just see me awkwardly try to figure out what the hell to do. And, yeah, we'll go from there. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the Shijima story. Centennial case. A Shijima story. Bye. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Now I do. hello, hey, editing Austin here, coming from the future of this video that you were probably watching here up till this point. I was gonna try to make this quick. I guess first I should say there's a chance if you're watching this, you have no idea this is what I look like. That's totally fine. This is me playing this game. So quick little note here. For the first time in a long ass time, I was given a copyright notice and complete block from viewing this next like 4 minutes of this game. Pretty dang unfortunate because mostly it just means a lot more work on my end to get it out and then re-upload and do the whole thing. So thanks for that. As far as I can tell, it is officially Square Enix. For some reason, I think they blocked both visually and visually the scenes here and then the audio track to it. I think YouTube's copyright thing is still broken and doesn't make a ton of sense sometimes. But they copyright ID'd it and then completely blocked it from the whole video being seen. But just from what I can tell, is 4 minutes, I hope. So what I had to sit over the last like 24 hours, like what was I going to do to make sure that I can still upload the video and also not miss a 4 minute chunk thing, you know. I for a second was like, I could just like cut out the part and just have a weird jump cut of like 4 minutes, but that's not really something I want to do. And then I could just make it black, or I could do a thing, or just put up like a title card like thing, like just being like, oh, the next 4 minutes had to be cut out. I didn't want to do that. So then I was like, okay, what's a little more work, but whatever, we can do it. Well, I lined up what's having to be cut, and then I pulled up the raw video here on my phone here. I'm going to be watching here, and I'm going to try my best over the next 4 minutes to essentially, I'll say what they say, the characters, the stage direction of what the cameras may be doing, and then I guess whatever I'm saying in the stream, I'll repeat back to you in this Andy video. It's gonna be great. It's these few minutes probably gonna be your favorite part of the stream, I'm gonna bet. If not, you don't have to let me know. It's fine. But like I said, hopefully. This is the first time in a long time this has happened where a copyright ID happens all the time. I'm going to be honest. Music, video, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's not like I'm making money on YouTube, clearly. The most annoying thing is when this kind of thing happens where they copyright a certain part and then the whole video just can't be seen. Which then, again, like I said, just annoyingly makes me have to do a ton of extra work, and by a ton I mean just a little. Like I said, I just had to find the part, and then I have to do this. I have to record this, and then I have to edit it. I have to put this in here, whatever. So whatever, we'll go. I'm gonna try my best. This is the best I could do, and then there's another like 30 minutes left to this video after this. So let's go part 2, and hopefully after this this doesn't happen in the future. I'm going to do a couple safeguards to make it slightly more easier on me in the event that something like this happens. I don't know why it's happened in part 2, this chapter 2, this time, and not part 1. It's either they don't have the same kind of strike thing in their systems, or potentially I paused and talked over enough certain parts where certain parts weren't claimed. So whatever. Thanks, Square, though. Really cool. Big. What is this? Get this out of here. What the fuck? Okay. So here I go. It's just gonna be me reading this. So if I remember correctly, they're all gathered in a thing. I rewind like 5 seconds. I was complaining about something, so nothing new there. But yeah, I'm just gonna be looking down on my phone and doing my best. So I say clearly the game has one way for me. I'm also lined it up. I'm trying to do my best. I say clearly the game has one direction I want to go. I'm trying to like interpolate everything that's happening. Very difficult, but I'm trying my best. And so clearly I picked the wrong thing. It's going to say I'm wrong. But I don't necessarily agree with everything that's being said to get to the conclusions. Man, listening back to me, I just complain about things when I'm wrong. It's terrible. Alright, Takahiko says, it wasn't me. You must believe me, Takahiro says. Haruka says, finally, Kazunaga. You didn't leave the house between 1 and 1:30. The main character is saying this. Likely time frame of the murder. Yoko was at the entrance during that time and said she was no one entering or leaving. She had a view of the walkways, too, so she would have noticed anyone leaving. Yoko says, what about leaving through the back door? Haruka says, you're right. No one was watching the back door. It flashed to the back door. If the killer wanted to sneak out, it'd be through the back door. But Kazunaga didn't leave the house. And Akari says, how are you so sure? Because she's like, how are you so, the friend, the editor, I think she is. She's like, how are you so sure? And then she says, well, and then it pauses. And then it goes to that thing where it's like the options, the hypotheses you can choose. And I pick the footprints outside the door. Because I think right before this, where I had to come in to explain, I think I picked the wrong choice. So I picked the correct choice, I think, here. And I bitterly say, fine, I'll pick this one. So I say footprints. The camera pans down sort of comically to Kazunaga's feet. It's like a under the table shot, and we see our main character there peering down at his feet. Let me go back 10 seconds here. Fine, I'll pick this one. I say, okay, pans down to feet. She looks at the feet. She says, Kazunaga clearly has big feet. The ground outside the back door is quite muddy. With or without shoes, anyone would have left footprints. But there wasn't a single Kazunaga-sized footprint. Which I completely disagree with. It's foolish. Especially, we're talking about fucking water clearing out washing away footprints and stuff with water. Like, that was a whole thing in here, right? This was also, I streamed this like 24 hours ago, so I don't 100% remember what was going on. I forget things very quickly, but I'm pretty sure like that logic seems flawed to me. Oh, Kazunaga. And then Kazunaga starts talking. So let me go back there. Kazunaga says, hey, I guess you're not totally hopeless. And then she says, it's an honor to finally be praised by you. Mitsunori says, so who on earth is the killer? And then I pause it. And I say, so unless it's clear, unless we're heading for a swap thing, because I referenced the part 1, the chapter 1, where we said someone was not the person, was going to be the killer, and then immediately returned back to it. So I'm bringing up here, I'm like, oh, unless we're doing the same thing. So again, this is me talking. Like we did in the first case, like I clearly have no idea where it's going to go during it, because this whole time I was going to go, oh, it makes sense if it was a fucking Kazunagi, right? I gotta rewind it. This is perfect. This is such a good system I got going right now. He says, I've been with Haruka the whole time. So our alibis are solid. This is our friend here. Taki, it's like, the gardener says that, God, it's going too quick. And the system I have is, so our alibis are solid, he says. Then the gardener says, and it's unlikely that Yeo was able to stab a sword into a tree. So that leaves... And then there's a pause. Yoko says, huh? You can't mean. It wasn't me. Haruka says, if you were the killer, it doesn't make sense for you to claim that you were at the entrance. If just one person had entered or left through there, your testimony would be challenged. Mitsunori says, so the killer isn't any one of us here? And Haruka says, no. Only one person could have committed this murder. She holds up a finger. Zooms in. One person could have committed this murder. She starts walking to the back of the room. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Everyone's confused. Everyone's like, what the hell? Big eyes being like, oh, what's happening? Music starts going. She comes back with one of those water jugs. And Iji says, the plastic water can be used to put out the fire. And she says, yes, just an ordinary water can. The killer used this water can in the murder. These flower petals here are proof of that. She zooms in on the petals on the bottom of it. They still look fresh, says our editor. Newly fallen? And Haruka says, this water can was used at the scene of the crime and then returned to the back door. When we went to get them, I found that the inside of this can was already wet. Iji says, right, looked like something had been poured around the tree. Haruka says, and that's the crux of the matter. This plastic water can was wet because... it goes to hypotheses again. And I believe that's where it cuts out. I believe that's where. I think that we can come back in. So, again, apologies. Good thing. See, this is how bad it would have been. Good thing I didn't, like, write the, or read in the game, because that was atrocious sounding. But, that's the best I could do. Hopefully, like I said, future parts don't have this to happen, but I don't know for sure. hastily just throwing this together, clearly, as you can see. So thanks for bearing with me. Enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll, you know, on to more parts. And Square Enix, please stop being obnoxious. All right, bye. Well, hello again. I'm back. Welcome to part 2 of editing Austin coming into the video. So the same day, it's now night. I know the lighting probably looks a lot weirder, and obviously frames are shitty now because of whatever. I didn't even adjust, obviously, brightness and contrast and everything like I normally do, because I just don't care anymore. But I got from just only several minutes ago, I got the edit done, the one you saw previously. I got that into re-uploaded, re-rendered, resent into YouTube system, and they got it again, a separate 4-minute chunk. So I'm gonna say this: I don't know about future parts. I still wanted to play this game. I still obviously want to play it on the stream. Man, this is annoying though. So I don't know if this is gonna happen a third time in this video. I guess what they're gonna do is make it as annoying as possible, and as I go piece by, like, if I go like re-upload again, they're gonna try to find another like 4-minute chunk to content claim it. It seems as if they're moving part by part, like it's going extended out, whatever their system they got. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. But alas, I'm here. 4 more minutes. I'm going to have to sit here. I've got it queued up. I got a slightly better system than last time, I think. I don't know for sure. But we'll go here. I'll read it 4 minutes worth. We'll start at 2:18:50 and go to 2:22:36. And then, you know, at that point, there's only like 11 more minutes for them to try to find another chunk to claim, because re-uploaded it and it got blocked. They're doing their best. Good job, Square Enix. Again, another thumbs up from just like a few minutes ago. It's late, dude. It's late on a Sunday. I'm just trying to get this part done before like start the rendering process. So whenever I pass out, like, and maybe even upload it, maybe get it uploaded so that in the morning I can wake up and try to see that it's claimed again, so I can do whatever next thing I need to do tomorrow. That's basically what I'm trying to do. But here we go. I've thought of other things. I thought of trying to like maybe like do some weird like mirror flipping of the image or something, but then like you wouldn't be able to read subtitles, so that wouldn't work. Stupid things. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. Square, look at the camera. Square, it's not that big of a deal. All right, so Haruka says, Yoko, you said you heard a few faint thuds, as if something was hitting another object. That must have been the sound of the pendulum hitting the sword. Then Yoko says, that makes sense. Haruka says, when it was done, the killer emptied the water can, untied the rope, and pulled it down from the tree. If we assume that the killer used this trick, then they didn't need much strength to drive the sword in deep. As such, 2 suspects come back to mind. And then I say in the stream, I say, all I've learned so far is that I would not be a good detective. I think I didn't check before this, but I think this is because I failed. I picked the guy here. Obviously, you just watched the video, so you know exactly what happened. But I think I picked the guy and I was wrong, so I failed. So I think I'm picking Yoko here because it's the only other option. And yeah, that's just me doing my thing, you know. Failing at video games, that's what I do. So he looks with his eyes. I say, I don't know who I would trust either. And then I say, it zooms in on Yoko's face, and I go, man, I should have picked her. Her face looks so untrustworthy in that moment, is basically what I was saying, because her face was like all like nervous about being picked. She looks suspicious, what I say. I say her face, yeah, her face looks like, yeah, she definitely did it. Like, I definitely did it. The killer made a fatal mistake. So, who is the killer? I say, that's the face of someone who did it. She can't even look me directly in the eyes, I say. He looks like a sad puppy dog, and she looks like, yeah, just stabbed someone. That's what I'm saying. Using a pendulum trick. I can't get enough of the pendulum trick. Okay, I hold and I select Yoko. So let's go to Yoko. Haruka looks at Yoko. She takes, I think, a couple steps. No steps. She says, or not Yoko. Yoko's different than, see, this is what I get because characters, it's not Yoko. She looks at Yayoi. It's late. It's late on a Sunday. It is late on a Sunday. She says, you're the only person who both had a reason to use this trick. Pauses. And was able to execute it. What do you have to say? Says my main character. I pause it. And I pause it and I go, if we learned anything about the alternate endings where I fail, she should just be able to say, no, I didn't do it. And then everything falls apart. That's what I say there. She should just say no, I said. And then she says, I thought you might accuse me. But, Haruka, your reasoning is full of speculation. I have to do this for another, 2 minutes. Hang on. I will say this. It gets good. These final scenes, hopefully you don't get blocked, but it gets interesting. You said Takehiko wouldn't have risked getting the sword from the reception room because Takehiko didn't know the meeting had ended early, so you say. And she's like pacing around the room at this point. Very much pacing the room like a killer would when trying to do like their final like, oh, are you sure you have the right person kind of moment, you know? But he might have seen it end, she says. By chance, even from the garden. And he looks down at the ground. And then she says, Yoko said she was at the entrance during the time of the murder. But no one can corroborate anything like that. I can speak, it's fine. And who knows if Mitsunori is telling the truth about his arm. And then it pans to him and he's looking all down to the ground. And I, on the streamer, go, exactly. How would we know? How would we just trust some people? How are we arbitrarily trusting some people? And then other people were like, no, you're definitely the fucking person. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. I like this game, but it's the same thing. Okay, so he looks all sullen. He's like, oh, no. My arm is tendons and shit. And then I say, I'm siding with her. That's what I say as a streamer. I say, I'm siding with her. She says, please don't call me a killer based on mere suspicion. And Haruka says, you are absolutely... Oh, I have to rewind. Please don't kill me a killer based on mere suspicion. Haruka says, you are absolutely correct. But I am still convinced you are the killer. And that's because there was a critical flaw in your testimony, says Haruka. And they stare at each other angrily. They're like, ooh, final face down, you know? And then Yayoi says, what is it? How do I say that name? I don't even know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Haruka says, before anyone noticed the fire, you said these words. Do you smell that? Like something's burning? Your sense of smell must be very acute. And she says, yes, I do have a good nose. Though the rest of me is succumbing to old age. Wait. The rest of me is succumbing to old age. Haruka says, in that case, something doesn't add up. There was something strange in your testimony. There was something strange in your testimony. A few more seconds here. And then she goes, I don't have a clue. Is that what she said? I don't have a clue. In that case, something doesn't add up. Something strange in your testimony. I don't have a clue. And she says, I mean, and then I go, uh-oh. And then it says, there's this thing that says, a little pop-up, and it goes, after you name a culprit, they might challenge your accusation. You'll need to provide reasoning that decisively invalidates the rebuttal. It very much is like a Danganronpa or Phoenix Wright type moment. You'll see it. You'll see it on the screen. This is, I think I even say this is just like in Danganronpa. So, there we go. That's it. This was even rougher than the first part. I'm sure, who knows, by tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to come up with do this a third time. So that's fun. So I'll probably be wearing something else then at that point. All right. We'll end it here. Like I said, there's like 10 more minutes in the video or so. So, enjoy it. Enjoy it because I'm having to do extra work. That sucks. It's not fun. Wish me luck in the next chapter. Bye. They're doing me dirty. It's a new day. The sun is back out from the last time I reported into the video for probably the third and hopefully final time, because I'm going to take you mostly probably to the end of the video here. I'll start off by saying, after having to do this now for, like I said, a third time, this might just end up being one of those series that is better experienced either live on Twitch, so twitch.tv/bubmanXIV, or watched VOD on Twitch, because as far as I can tell, those aren't being blocked, the scenes and stuff. So as long as VODs stay up on Twitch, I can't remember, it's like 14 days, I think, those once I stream. So if you want to watch those completely uninterrupted, like I'm having to do, hopefully either A, hope that the copyright gods shine fairly on us for remaining parts, or or just watch it on Twitch, honestly, either live or the VODs, because it's obnoxious. They're just going 4-minute chunks as I keep changing it. So, like I said, there's only, since the last time I had to do this and squeeze it in and then re-upload to YouTube to see what was happening, there's only like 10 minutes left. But I think I'm going to be able to do like 6 or so minutes here, roughly. And then I'll try to have this final scene that ends up playing here into the thing. And then hopefully that doesn't get claimed, because it's like I don't want to say a powerful scene, but it's like a final lasting image type scene thing that I think might end up being important. And then there's like some nonsense about my scorecard. What scorecard am I going to get with the mistakes I made? I don't know. But let's just, like I said, this is going to be about 6 minutes here. Take me to probably the final scene. So, you know the drill. Like I said, though, highly recommend if you want to see it uninterrupted. I usually don't try to push, especially people who watch the archive stuff on their own time, to Twitch. It doesn't really matter to me, honestly, where you watch it. But this specifically, the series, might just end up being easier and better when I do them, if you watch either live or the VODs, as long as they stay up on Twitch, which isn't indefinitely. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. We're just going to blast through this here. So if you remember, we accused Yayoi. It's my best attempt at the name. Slightly older lady. I think she's like the general housekeeper, I think, of the place, unless I'm mistaken with Yoko. But I think Yoko is the wife. But I don't actually know. It's now been a few days since we last played this, so and hopefully this is the last time I have to do this. So we enter with the main character, Haruka, saying, "You didn't notice the body when you went to the storehouse around 2 p.m. That's what you said, right?" And Yaoi says, "As I told you, my eyes are bad. I don't know if I saw it or not." Haruka says, "That doesn't matter, but there's something you should have noticed." Camera, they're on opposite sides. A nice framing shot there, really. The editor goes, the editor friend goes, "That smell." Like, she catches on. She does like big eyes. She's like, "That smell." And Haruka says, "That's right. The murder happened between 1 and 1:30 p.m. Soon after, around 2 p.m., you passed that tree on the way to the storehouse." You should have immediately noticed the smell of blood from the body. Shows the stab again at the tree. Ichi says the stench of blood is strong. Haruka says, and if you had, you would have notified everyone immediately, but you didn't. She says, why? Because you, Yayoi, are the killer. I say, get fucked. And then Haruka says, am I right? Yoko says, Yayoi. It flashes to like everyone does like it flashes to everyone's like concerned eyes, and they're just kind of doing their thing. So it's kind of like a I gotcha moment is happening. She walks towards the camera. She says, I don't regret a thing. The killer says, I don't regret a thing. And I say, she's given up. Long ago, I lost someone dear to me because of that detective. So streamer me says, oh, she's got some vendetta against the detective. Oh, you know, that sounds interesting. That seems like an important plot point, you know? Too bad you have to have me say this. It does a flashback to, I've brought the tea, when she was carting out the tea. When he appeared today, all the anguish of that long-forgotten night came rushing back. And she looks at him. Shows her grabbing the sword. She's thinking about it. She's grabbed a sword. She's looking around. If anyone's around to see her grab the sword. She shuffles out of the room quickly. She goes out the back door. Near the water jugs and shit. She's hiding the sword in her little thing. I say, oh, I'm excited to see the pendulum. That's what I say as a streamer. She grabs the water jug. Oh, you don't get to see the water jug thing. Oh, it's a great moment. If you can find the clip somewhere else, maybe I'll leave like the pendulum thing in. Yeah, I think I could do that. I think I'll leave just the bit of the pendulum because if I remember correctly, I think I laughed pretty hard. So I'll leave that in when we get to it in a sec. I'll just splice it in if I need to. Okay, she grabs Jug and runs away. She goes to like the storehouse. She grabs the rope. Oh, she said something, so I should probably rewind here. Okay, she grabs the rope and she says, I know the estate well. So setting the whole thing up was child's play. She lays the body against the tree and says, as he walked by, I bashed his head with a rock. We don't get to see her bashing the head with the rock. Then she grabs a sword. She unsheaths it and stabs it through him in the tree, sorta. Mostly through the body. She kind of pushes it as far as she can. She breathes heavy. He's just sitting there. She's looking at what she did. Oh, and then she uses the pendulum trick. And with very little force, she lets it go from not like a high distance or anything. She just kind of just bonks like a half-filled water jug into the sword. And I laugh, I think, about it because I'm like, really? That's as much force to push a sword through the body and the tree? I think I laugh. Let me see. But yeah, she's just casually letting this pendulum jug go to bonk against the sword a couple times. Come on, man. This is... That's... That seems so ridiculous. You're gonna tell me the water in that can with just that short little distance and that short little speed, like, that's gonna be enough to, like, lodge the sword deeper and deeper into the body and into the tree? I mean... That looked... I was expecting, like, a dropped from, like, a bigger distance or something. Yep, there's the laughing. And it freeze frames on her releasing the jug of water. So if I edit this correctly, I'll put that scene in there because it's, to me, it's pretty funny. But we will continue. Yoko says, "How dare you, Yayoi?" Oh, I start laughing about it. I'm still laughing. You're going to tell me with the water with that little short distance, with just that little speed, that's going to be enough to, like, launch the sword deeper and deeper into the body and into the tree? That's what I just said. I'm, like, translating myself. It's interesting. And I go, and then I say, I was expecting from, like, a dropped, like, a bigger distance or something. And she says, such vileness in this house. That's Yoko. Iji says, calm down. I think he says calm down. Does he say calm down? Iji is like, let me see what he says. It goes really quick here. Let me see. Oh, he just goes, Yoko. Haruka says, Yayoi, please tell me one thing. And then it brings up a prompt of me being able to choose what I want to say to her. And it's, why did you kill him in such a convoluted way? Or, who was the important person that you lost? And of course, me, I'm like, who's the important person you lost? That seems way more interesting of a question to ask. So I pick that. She says, who was the important person that you lost? And she's just facing the camera. Yayoi. Yayoi. She's just facing the camera. She has not a grin, but just like she's just resigned to the fact of what has happened, you know? Like she's accepted it. She smiles a bit and she says, I can finally let go of all this resentment. Someone of your age couldn't possibly understand. Iji says, are you also the one who poisoned Dad? And she pauses. She doesn't say anything immediately. And Iji says, answer me. Do you mean our father was really poisoned? Poisoned with arsenic. Yeah, arsenic. What is the antidote? And Yo-Yo says, I can't answer any of those questions. Again, she's like accepted it and she's just looking kind of like at the camera. It's great framing. It's a very bummer. You can't see it. Kazunaga stands up and says, cut the crap. He's yelling, you did it, so you must know. It goes back to Yayoi. And Kazunaga says, no point in... Cut the crap, you did it, so you must know. No point telling us, huh? Damn it. Just hand her over to the police already. Haruka says, but the police won't be here for a while. Kazunaga says, then we'll lock her up in the storehouse until they get here. Who knows what she'll do to us otherwise? And Yo-Yo says, I have no objections. Again, resigned to the fact. And then I think this final scene I'll be able to put in. Fingers crossed. Like I said, I'll get this edited up and hopefully this episode's supposed to go up on Wednesday if I do everything correctly. I'm annoyed with everything. Like I said, I'll stream this game probably later this week. If you're seeing this on Wednesday, sometime later this week. Like I said, it's probably best to watch live or archived on Twitch just in case it doesn't happen. I'm going to try a couple things next time we play I'll do like pauses and maybe that'll break it up enough to like the video content claiming thing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to part 2 as opposed to part 1 or what the difference is or what's going on or if it'll happen in the future, but hopefully not. Fingers crossed again. And I'll see you another time or later in this video if it happens again somehow in the last like 2 minutes of the scorecard and shit. Can't guarantee anything at this point. Bye.